Hello, Arron Chambers here. Welcome to episode 2 of my new podcast, video podcast, Enjoy the Journey, where I focus on all issues, life, love, leadership, and the Lord. I come to you today from Orlando, Florida. I'm actually at the house where I was raised in Orlando, Florida, and I'm getting ready to speak at a week of camp, and I'll be leaving in about an hour, and so I wanted to pause and share with you something I've been thinking about while I've been here at my home, and it's the fact that I was blessed here. I spent my childhood in this home, and my parents were very intentional about loving us and blessing us. And this weekend I was reading a scripture, and it was a powerful reminder to me of the power of a blessing. So this video podcast, is especially for leaders, for fathers, grandfathers, mothers, anybody who has influence over people, coaches, bosses. Here's the deal. I was looking at when Jesus was baptized, and something struck me. So if you're familiar, when Christ was called into ministry, he was baptized by John the Baptist. And in that moment he was in the water, his father looked down and said, and this is in Matthew 7:13, "This is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased." And there's so much in there that is important that we should be living out in our lives. It really shows 4 qualities of a great blessing. The first 2 are kind of these. The first is that a blessing is powerful when it's both public and private. Public and private. Now, in this situation with Christ, it's just a public blessing. We know John the Baptist is there, and it's God in front of John the Baptist saying, "This is my beloved son." And those are so powerful. It's so powerful that you have those moments when in public you say, "I'm so glad it's my kid. I'm so glad I'm married to that person. I'm so proud of my employees. I'm so proud of my staff." Those public blessings are so powerful, and but the private ones are too. The private ones are so powerful. Those moments when a father tells a son, "I'm so glad you're my son." When a father tells a little girl, "If I had to pick from all the little girls in the whole world, I'd pick you to be my child every single time." So God models that for us, that a blessing is powerful when it's both public and private. Take those times to pour into your kids, because here's the thing: if you didn't get that blessing, you know what it feels like. You know there's like a wound you carry, and you may look for approval with in other sources, and pleasure, in relationships, in sex. You may just really be struggling to find that approval from someone, something, somewhere. So as we're giving our blessings to other people we care about and love, let's make sure they're both public and private. That's number 1. The second quality of a great blessing is that it's personal. God said, "This is my beloved son." He identifies him as his son. And it's really important that when you give a blessing, you make it as personal as possible. I believe in making it very specific. Like, instead of saying, "Hey, great job in the game today," you could say, "Hey, that other player was really trying to rough you up, and I love how you kept your composure. I loved how when she fell down, you helped her up. And I love the fact that you didn't give up today. You fought to the very end, and I'm very proud of you." Those specific blessings, like to your staff, it's one thing to say, "Great job, staff." It's another thing to say, "Hey, yesterday, when this very specific thing happened, you guys did this and this and this, and because you did those things, we had a successful event. Great job." So blessings need to be public and private. They need to be deeply personal. They need to be passionate. God said, "This is my beloved son." Do your kids know you love them? Because the days of assumed love are way gone. People need to hear it. Kids need to hear it. Our staff needs to hear it. And it needs to be meaningful. It needs to be, it needs to be sincere. But man, it is so crucial that we share love. Does your staff know you love them? Does your spouse know you love her? Do your kids know you love them? And be as precise as possible when you share that. And listen, kids cannot hear it enough. They cannot hear that you love them enough. Your staff, your team, your spouse, they need to hear it. All right, people leak. I love when God says, "This is my beloved son." So blessings need to be both public and private. They need to be personal. They need to be passionate. And then the last thing is they need to be come from a place of pleasure. God says, "This is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased." Pleased. God was pleased with Jesus, and he had done really nothing yet. He had lived, in anonymity for all those years, and then he's begins his ministry, and he's baptized. He'd gotten baptized, but God is pleased with him. I love that. And he had really done nothing yet. He had just started his ministry. And what if your team had your pleasure from the beginning and didn't have to earn it? What if your kids had your pleasure from the beginning and didn't have to earn it? What if your spouse was given the benefit of the doubt and had your pleasure and didn't have to earn it? What a blessing that would be. Just some stuff for you to think about. If you like this podcast, like what you're hearing, please share it. You can please subscribe. I'm going to try to send these out about once a week, all right? Hey, you have a great day, and remember who you are.